The Chamber of Secrets. Before Azkaban or Nurmengard ever existed, Hogwarts already hid its own prison, one meant not for criminals, but for bloodlines. Deep beneath the castle, past flooded tunnels and stone pipes, lies the Chamber of Secrets. It was built by Salazar Slytherin himself, a founder who believed only pure-blood witches and wizards deserved to study magic. The chamber wasn't a myth or a secret room. It was a purge mechanism, a place designed to punish the unworthy. Its guardian was the Basilisk, a serpent bred to kill with a single glance. Controlled only by Slytherin's true heir, it served as both executioner and jailer. Victims weren't tortured or imprisoned in chains. They were petrified, frozen between life and death, locked inside their own bodies. No screams, no marks, just silence and fear spreading through the castle. When the chamber was reopened in 1992, Muggle-born students became the new targets. The message scrawled on the wall said it plainly: "Enemies of the heir, beware." What made it horrifying wasn't only the monster, it was the ideology behind it. The punishment wasn't personal, it was systemic. Every corridor above the chamber became part of the prison. Students walked past their petrified classmates every day, knowing the walls themselves were capable of hate. Hogwarts, the safest place in Britain, was built on top of a dungeon meant to cleanse it. And long before the Ministry's laws or Azkaban's walls, the first magical punishment was already waiting underground. Malfoy Manor dungeons. During the Second Wizarding War, Malfoy Manor wasn't just a headquarters. It doubled as a black site prison outside the law. Prisoners were dragged to the cellars and locked away while Death Eaters decided their fate upstairs. No trial, no records, just a door, a guard, and the threat Voldemort could arrive at any moment. Who was held here? Luna Lovegood, kidnapped to pressure her father. Garrick Ollivander, taken for his wand lore and worn down by months of interrogation. Griphook the Goblin, whose knowledge of Gringotts became leverage. Harry and Ron are later thrown into the same cellar, proving it was an active holding site. Punishments were direct and illegal. Bellatrix Lestrange used the Cruciatus Curse to force answers from Hermione about the Sword of Gryffindor. Threats of death were constant, and deprivation did the rest. Hunger, darkness, and the sound of other prisoners' screams. Lucius Malfoy demanded results to regain favor. Draco hovered, unwilling to act. Pettigrew served as a nervous jailer. The power dynamic was the punishment. Every choice belonged to the captors, every hour stretched by fear. The escape shows how lethal it was. Dobby apparates in, drops a chandelier, and frees prisoners. In the chaos, Pettigrew's silver hand turns on him when he hesitates, killing him. Bellatrix's thrown knife kills Dobby as he tries to get them out. Malfoy Manor's terror wasn't a complex system. It was simple: torture, deprivation, and the constant possibility of execution whenever a Death Eater felt like it. MACUSA Prison. MACUSA's prison sits beneath the Woolworth Building in 1926 New York. Orderly, quiet, and sealed by layers of enchanted security. Cells are plain and efficient. The real horror is the Death Cell, a chamber disguised to look safe and gentle. Prisoners are escorted in by aurors and an executioner team. The room brightens, chairs appear, and the tone turns oddly comforting, as if someone is preparing you for arrest, not an execution. That's intentional. This chamber is built to lower your guard before it lowers you to your death. Here's how it works. An executioner draws out a thread of your happy memories with a wand and lets it drip into a wide silvery pool. The surface responds like a screen. Warm images play back. Family moments, kindness, laughter. It calms you. It makes you sit. The room encourages compliance, not struggle. Then the chair locks. The platform tilts very slowly. You're lowered toward the pool. A corrosive death potion that erases you on contact. No drama, no screams, just disillusion. It's the cleanest possible killing, and that's what makes it chilling. The state removes you like a smudge on glass. We see the machine nearly take Tina Goldstein and Newt Scamander. Under Percival Graves, Grindelwald in disguise, MACUSA skips due process and orders immediate execution. Tina is lulled by her own memories and begins to sink. Newt is strapped in next. Only Queenie's intervention and Newt's creatures break the process and get them out alive. Later, MACUSA leadership recognizes this was an abuse of the system, but the chamber itself remains a legal instrument. Erkstag. Erkstag is Germany's wizarding prison, carved deep into cold bedrock. It isn't meant to hold you for long. It's designed to process you and dispose of you. When Theseus Scamander is arrested, he's sent here for questioning. That's the euphemism. The real endpoint is a sunken amphitheater with retracting steps and a pit at the center. Inside that pit lives a manticore, not the storybook lion with wings. This one looks more like a scorpion crab. It reacts to movement, smells fear, and drags prisoners down to be eaten. The guards don't hide the purpose. They funnel inmates toward the edge and let gravity and terror finish the job. Newt Scamander breaks in to rescue Theseus and realizes the creature is triggered by sharp motion. So he coaches his brother through that weird, careful manticore walk, trying to look harmless while edging back up the steps. The guards laugh. Prisoners' panic turns into grim slapstick for the gallery. If you slip, the floor gives way. The young swarm first, nipping and hurting victims toward the mother. Then the main maw opens. The end is fast. What makes Erkstag terrifying isn't just the monster, it's the bureaucracy around it. Arrest, paperwork, tossed to the pit. No debate, no trial the public ever sees. The whole thing runs like a machine, and the guards treat it like entertainment. Newt buys time with the walk, then creates chaos, distractions, decoys, anything to draw the manticore off while they climb. He and Theseus scramble out, hurling spells as the steps retract behind them. They barely make it. Erkstag is efficient cruelty. The ministry doesn't scream or gloat. It schedules you. Then a creature does the rest. A prison that turns execution into procedure and fear into a show. Nurmengard. Nurmengard is Grindelwald's monument to control. He built it as a fortress prison for anyone who stood in the way of his greater good. The design sends the message. Stark towers, long echoing corridors, high walls that make the sky feel far away. Over the entrance, the words, "For the greater good." It isn't decoration, it's doctrine carved in stone. So every prisoner walks beneath the slogan that justified their capture. Inside, punishment is simple. Isolation. Cells are bare and quiet. Contact is limited. You don't get public trials or ministry routines here. You disappear behind a locked door while the regime outside rewrites the rules. The point isn't just to hold you, it's to make you feel forgotten. After Dumbledore defeated Grindelwald in 1945, the prison flipped. The founder became the inmate. Grindelwald spent decades confined in the very place he created. No followers, no speeches, just the motto over the gate and the silence of his own walls. That reversal is the most brutal part of Nurmengard. The prison works equally well on its maker. Decades later, Voldemort comes looking for answers about the Elder Wand. He finds an aged Grindelwald still defiant. Grindelwald refuses to give up Dumbledore's secret and pays with his life. The cell doesn't save him. It just becomes the room where the past finally catches up. Nurmengard's method isn't monsters, potions, or spectacle. It's time. Years that grind a person down without leaving marks a judge could measure. If Azkaban attacks your soul, Nurmengard attacks your meaning, reducing enemies to a file, a locked door, a name no one says out loud anymore. That's the punishment, a fortress designed to erase you from the conversation, and if necessary, to keep its own creator until the story ends. Azkaban. Azkaban is a black fortress on a rock far out at sea. Waves slam the walls, wind howls through iron gates. No sunlight reaches the cells. The ministry didn't build it, it took it over. The island was first used by the dark wizard Erkstag, who hid there and experimented on victims. After his death, the ministry seized the site and kept the guardians he had attracted. Those guardians are Dementors. They don't beat you or starve you, they empty you. Near them, warmth vanishes, happy memories fade. Prisoners lose the will to speak, then to think clearly, until many go mad. For most inmates, that's the punishment. Slow psychological collapse in perpetual cold and darkness. Some crimes earn worse. The Dementor's kiss removes the soul entirely, leaving the body alive but empty. The ministry has authorized it in extreme cases. A Dementor performed the kiss on Barty Crouch Jr. after his capture in 1995. The threat of that sentence hangs over every interrogation and transfer. Security relies on despair more than walls. Cells are bare stone with barred doors. The geography does the rest. Sheer drop, violent sea, and storms that make flight near impossible. Dementors drift the corridors and landings, feeding on prisoners and deterring rescue attempts without casting a single spell. Very few have ever escaped. Sirius Black did in 1993 by turning into a dog. His unregistered Animagus form confused the Dementors, who sense emotion, not animal thought. In 1996, a mass breakout released 10 high-risk Death Eaters, including Bellatrix Lestrange. They were sprung by outside forces during Voldemort's resurgence. Earlier, Barty Crouch Jr. left the prison secretly when his dying mother took his place under Polyjuice, making his escape unknown to the guards. Azkaban's daily routine is minimal. Meager food, no conversation, no stimulation. Prisoners hear the sea and sometimes each other. Time blurs. The only meaningful magic most inmates encounter is the Patronus charm, used by visitors or aurors to push Dementors back during transfers. Prisoners themselves rarely manage it. The spell requires focused, genuine happiness. During Voldemort's control of the Ministry, Dementors multiplied and grew bolder, and Azkaban effectively served the regime. After the war, the Ministry reformed how it used the prison and curtailed Dementor involvement. But the fortress remains the same, isolated, brutal, and designed to break people without leaving a mark. Azkaban's cruelty isn't complicated, it's engineered hopelessness. The cell is stone, the guard is a void, and the sentence, whether months or life, feels the same to the person living it. Endless cold with nothing left to hold on to. Now you think Azkaban is bad? That's only level 3. Next class at Stickman Hogwarts, the 7 levels of punishment in Harry Potter Explained. Click now before your Patronus fades.